Class. The first transformation that we're going to talk about today is called a translation. All right, translation is a type of transformation. A translation is going to slide a figure. Okay, it's going to stay exactly the same, but it's just going to slide. It's going to move. Okay, it can move up or down, right or left, or a combination of them. Real quick from the other video, we should have learned that the original coordinates when we're doing these transformations on the coordinate plane, our original coordinates will be called the pre-image. That's what we first start off with. And then our new coordinates after a transformation of any kind. Oops, what in the world did I do? And then our new coordinates, okay, after a transformation will be called the image, okay? And then to tell the two apart on the coordinate plane, our pre-image will be regular, A, B, C, or X, Y, Z, and our new image will be A prime, B prime, C prime. If we end up doing more than one transformation, then we end up going to A double prime, B double prime, C double prime, and we could even do triple prime, okay, where we would just have extra little apostrophes. All right, so a translation. Everything looks exactly the same. So look at this smiley. It looks exactly the same, but it's going to slide. All right, for this one, we went to the right, and then we went down. All right, so with translations, we can have a horizontal slide, okay, which means we're either moving to the right or we're moving to the left for horizontal. If it's a positive horizontal shift, it's going to be to the right. If it's a negative number for a horizontal translation or a horizontal shift, it's going to be to the left. So slide or shift. Sometimes they might use the word shift. All right. If we have a vertical translation, all right, that means we're either going to move up or we're going to move down, okay? If it's a positive vertical shift, we're going to move up. If it's going to be a negative number for vertical shift, we're going to move down, okay? Let's look at this first example. All right, we want a horizontal shift of 7 and a vertical shift of -2. The horizontal of 7, horizontal, we move right or left. We move horizontally, like the horizon. Okay, it's positive, so we're going to move to the right 7. And then for our vertical shift of -2, remember vertical goes up and down. Okay, it's negative, so we're going to move down 2. All right, now, to move this entire thing, you're going to move each point individually. So each point separately. So let's look at W. So I'm looking at W. I'm going to move to the right 7 and then down 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then down 2. And we're going to call that W and then prime. All right. And then we look at the next point. So we can look at V. We move to the right 7 and then down 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then down 2. And we're going to call that guy V prime. All right, and we just do each one separately. You could do X next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then down 2. And we call that guy X prime. Hopefully your handwriting is much better than how I'm writing on this thing. All right, next up, Y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then down 2 again. And we call it Y prime. Bam. And then last we have our Z. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then down 2. And that is our z prime. Okay, at the end, you should be able to connect the dots and it should look exactly the same, okay, when we do that. So I'm going to go ahead and connect those dots. Whoa, that's really, really big. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Okay. So nope, that's not going to work. All right. I'll do this. So we go ahead and connect the dots. All right, all that looks ugly. Hold on one second. I will just do it by myself. All right. Connect the dots. And it should be the exact same shape as before. All right. Basically, we just took this guy and we moved him, all right? He slid to the right 7 and down 2. To move the whole thing, we move each point individually, okay? And then each point should be the same distance away as it was in our pre-image. So V and W should be 1, 2, 3 away. Well, look at your new image. 1, 2, 3 away. They still are, okay? It just moves, it slides. We don't do anything with it. So you might be asked to draw your transformation, your new image, or you might be asked for the points. So looking at V prime, that's +1, -2. All right, so start writing down those coordinates and then check to see if you got them right. W prime will be that, X prime, we have Y prime, and our Z prime. All right, let's look at the next problem. So, instead of telling you horizontal or vertical shift, they can tell you with your X and your Y. So we just have to remember that our X, so think of your X-axis, okay, goes right and left. So basically, they want us to move our X -6. All right, that means we're going to move to the left 6 for our X, okay? Our X goes right and left, it's -6, so we're going to move to the left 6. For our Y, we're going to move up 1, all right, because it's positive. Now, guys, another thing that they could have done is they could have just only had us doing something to X, and if they didn't want us to do anything to Y, it would have looked like that. Just comma Y, meaning don't move up, don't move down. We're only going to move right or left, okay? And vice versa. If they didn't want us to do anything to our X, okay, then it would have looked like this. We would have just had X. So don't do anything, don't move right or left, but then move up 1, okay? Does that make sense? All right, but for this one, we're going to move to the left 6, and then we're going to move up 1. So again, we do each point separately. So let's go ahead and start that. I'm trying to make this a little bit thicker. There we go. All right, so let's start with A. All right, so I'm going to move left 6, up 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then up 1. And we're going to call that guy A prime, right? Because we got to tell them apart. All right, next, let's do B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then up 1. And that's going to be our B prime. All right. And then for C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then up 1 again. All right, that's our C prime. And then for D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then up 1, that is our D prime. Okay. Now, let's say on a quiz or test, they only cared about 1 point. Well, you would only have to do 1 point, okay? And then last, we connect the dots. Again, it should look exactly the same. Hopefully you're using a ruler for straight edges, okay? Or you can use your agenda. All right, so I connect the dots. It should look exactly the same, unlike mine. Okay? And now we also need to be able to say what the points are. So if we look at A prime, all right, that point is going to be -3, +6 for B prime. All right, our x is 0 because we didn't move right or left to get up to B prime. So 0 and then 6. C prime, -4, 2. And then D prime. All right, -1 and then 2. All right, so that is our image. That is our pre-image. And guys, remember, to tell the two apart, we always look for which one has the prime. So, which brings us to our next problem. All right, it says write a rule to describe the translation below. Even if they didn't tell us it was a translation, let's say we had to figure it out, you would be able to tell that this was a translation because it's sliding. It looks exactly the same, but for this one, we're moving right and then up, okay? And the way that we can tell that this is my pre-image right here, so this is my pre-image, is because this one doesn't have the tick marks, all right? Over here, the little tick marks, that's my new image, okay? So now to tell what our horizontal and vertical shift is, we need to only look at just one of the letters, all right? And it has to be the same. The biggest mistake that people make is they want to look, let's say, from like here to the next closest spot. But those are not the same spot, okay, on our trapezoid. We have to look at the same spot on each figure, okay? So I'm going to look at this corner and that corner to figure out what our translation is. So we start here on our pre-image, and I'm moving to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so 7 spots to the right. Okay, because it's 7 spots to the right, that means it's going to be a positive horizontal shift of 7. And then we are going to move up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for our vertical. All right, we moved up 5, which means our vertical is going to be +5. Okay, let's look at the next one. All right, which one is my pre-image? All right, our pre-image is right here. Again, we can tell because it does not have the tick marks where this guy does. This is going to be the image after the transformation, which is a translation. It slid. Okay. Oh, real quick, forgot to say something up here. A way to help you. All right, translation has SL in it, all right, which starts with SL for our slide. So translation, SL, SL. They slide. All right, let's go back down here. So again, I cannot pick, like, let's say this point and that point. I also cannot pick this guy and that guy, all right? Neither of those work. You have to pick the same point on both pictures, okay? So for this one, personally, I'm not going to pick A because it's going to be hard for me to kind of like count through the picture, all right? If I pick C, it's a little bit better, but for me, I'm going to personally pick B, all right? Obviously, you could pick C also. I just like going for what I personally think is the easiest. Okay, so now, my horizontal, I'm moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I moved to the left 7 from my original. Okay, I'm moving to the left 7, which means my horizontal is -7. Okay, and then next we're moving up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I moved up 5 for my vertical, which means my vertical is going to be positive 5. Okay? Once you feel comfortable with this stuff, let's go ahead and do the practice on the back.